one rod, two rods. All right. So tomorrow I'm headed out to go do some commercial halibut fishing, and I just prepped all my gear, got my flashers tied up so that tomorrow morning when I get out on the water, I can get my stuff down basically as quickly as possible. And we're fumbling around tying knots and stuff, and especially if you get seasick out there, it's best to tie as many knots as possible when you're at home on dry land. A lot of times when you're looking down, for whatever reason, it just messes with your equilibrium or whatever. So if you're susceptible to getting seasick, I always tell people the best thing to do is become prepared. And when it comes to kayak fishing nowadays, it seems like everyone has electronics. So that brings me to the sponsor of today's video, which is BLUETTI. So today we're featuring the BLUETTI AC70 portable power station. And as you can see here, we got a lot of electronics going on. You got your radio, which is super important for safety. We've got our GPS and fish finder battery, which is going to help us catch some fish. And then I got the whole camera system going on, so I got some portable power units as well as GoPros that I'm charging so I can get some good footage out there. Here's the user interface of the unit. We got our AC units here, USB and USB-C units here, or ports here I should say. Got the car charging port as well as the input port for either the car charger or solar panels. And this power station also comes with the AC charging cable, the car charger charging cable, and then the solar panel hookup if you happen to have solar panels, which are sold separately. If you're out, on a road trip, maybe you're on a fishing adventure out in the wild and you don't have any power, if you bring one of these along, you can make sure that all of your electronics are going to be good to go when you're ready to get out on the water. The AC70 features 1,000 watts of power and 768 watt hours on standard mode. If we bump it up to turbo mode, that goes up to 2,000 watts. Pretty powerful little device. And if we check out the app here, this is the home screen. We can monitor everything that's going on with the device. It's got 73% of its battery left, 62 watts of power going out to this fan. And yeah, you can turn it on and off, or shut it down. You'll see the fan goes off. And then we can turn it back on, like so. And you'll see, the fan is back on. And if you happen to get stuck in a power outage, this is the perfect device to keep all your food from spoiling. So I got my fridge here. I'm going to unplug it and plug it in to the BLUETTI AC70. Currently 11:45 a.m. So I'll leave this plugged in for a while and we'll see how long it lasts. We're about 1 hour in, 90% left. All right, we're about 9 hours in and it's got 10% of battery left. So it seems like it's using about 10% of battery for every hour of use on this personal fridge. And it happens to be outside and it's super hot today, so I think in normal conditions, or if it happens to be inside your house, it'll last even longer. But yeah, super useful product, especially if the power happens to go out in your neighborhood. So thank you to BLUETTI for sponsoring this video. And if you'd like to see more information about this product or anything else they have in their lineup, go ahead and click that link in the description. I'll also have a little promo code to get yourself a discount if you're interested in purchasing one for yourself. Thank you to BLUETTI for sponsoring this video. And on that note, we'll let everything charge overnight. I'm gonna go get some sleep. We'll see you back here in the morning. And we are back at it. Bright and early, it's 6:30. The sun just came up. It's still pretty foggy out here. It can be a little bit disorienting when there's fog. I mean, you can't really see anything once you lose sight of land. It's all just water. So anyway, good to have GPS and stuff like that out here to make sure we don't drift out to sea. And like I said, we're doing some California halibut trolling. I got my hoochies tied up here, my Dodgers. Look at this one. So after the last commercial fishing video, I caught a couple fish on this Dodger, and then I used it one more time and didn't catch anything on that trip, but look at that. I'm pretty sure that was a halibut. Well, definitely something with teeth that took a bite out of this Dodger. So anyway, thought that was kind of cool. So the plan for today, I'm gonna come out here and just fish as long as I can. It's gonna be either the weather's gonna push me off, my cooler's gonna fill up, or my kayak's gonna run out of battery. If any of those three things happen, then we'll have to leave. But I'm basically gonna catch as many fish as I can, make as big of a payday as I can. But one thing's for certain, we're not gonna catch any fish unless we put our gear in the water. So let's go ahead and do that now and start getting to work. All right, got 2 rods in, trolling our way out to where I think there's some fish. Last time I caught some fish in shallow, so that's why I wanted to put my lines in and fish my way out, because just in case there's fish in here, then there's no real reason to go out deep. So we'll see how things pan out here. I'm marking some good bait here, so if there's bait, obviously the big fish aren't going to be far behind. Usually they're ones following the bait, looking for an easy meal. So let's see if there's any big halibut chasing these little bait balls in here. Oh man, that's a fish. I honestly thought it was snagged at first, but there ought to be this rockfish. I think what happened there was that fish swam into the rock immediately when it hit, but yeah, first fish of the morning. Yeah, nice thing about this style of commercial fishing with hook and line like we're doing is that all the fish that we catch that aren't legal to keep, we can release like that and they're perfectly fine. They survive with a very, very high survival rate. If you were to do some other kind of fishing, like some kind of nets or long line type fishing, which I don't think is, well, at least it's not very common here in the Bay Area, but all over the world there's a lot of places where they do that, and a lot of the markets sell fish that are caught that way. That is unfortunately not as sustainable because everything that they scoop up basically dies for the most part. So a lot of bycatch that goes to waste. And it's not just me, there's a lot of other hook and line commercial fishermen in the Bay Area, kind of like you see here. So not just me, but a lot of other local fishermen fisheries are fairly sustainable in that aspect at least. Oh no! Oh, dang it. Okay, fish. Okay, fish on. I think this is the right kind. This feels more like a halibut. It took us a little while to find the zone, but I think we're in the zone now. I just had one other bite that came off. Not only that, there's quite a few other boats here that are picking away. I've already seen a couple of fish get caught by other boats. So I think we're in the zone now. Now we can start making some money. And I think that's a keeper. It's pretty close. All right, just like that, we're on the board. Minimum size in order to keep the California halibut, regardless of commercial or recreational fishing, is 22 inches. This one, it makes it 22 and a half. Any smaller than this, even if it's like 22 and a quarter or right on 22, I like to let it go, but this one definitely over 22. Got that half-inch buffer there. So we're on the board, throw them in the box. So any fish that I take to market or, you know, I'm gonna sell, I always balk and bleed them just to make sure that meat quality is as high as possible. So we're gonna do that right now. We'll do that and then get it on ice. That's a good one. Went on a good run there. Halibut? Man, if this is a halibut, it's a wild one. I think it's a halibut. For whatever reason, this guy is all over the place. He won like 2 or 3 really good runs. Yep, it's a halibut. Definitely a keeper. Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal was with this guy, but man, he was running. Again. Oh, that is a strong fish. Got him. Probably about 24, 25, something like that. All right, there's number 2. Little guy, shaker. First shaker of the day. So people have been asking about my setup. I just thought I'd show it to you real quick. It's just a simple bounce ball setup. So we got a 3-way swivel right here. One way goes to the main line. One way goes to, that's a 12-ounce weight. It really depends on how deep and how fast you're trolling. But that's about 1 foot off of that 3-way swivel, and then the other way goes to our leader, and then at the end is this flasher and hoochie setup. And the reason I use this is it's super easy. If I were to use regular bait, you know, every time you get a little nibble, you gotta bring it up and check your bait, make sure it's there. But this way, I always know that there's bait down there fishing. And you'll note that we actually have a pretty short leader from that dodger to the hoochie, if you haven't used it before. The reason we tie a shorter leader there is because when that dodger is swinging back and forth, it's got some seaweed on it now, but anyways, normally when it's swinging back and forth, it pulls that hoochie with it. If we had a really long leader and its dodger swinging back and forth, the hoochie's over our back, it's not affected by any of that action. So I know people have been asking about it, so I just want to show you real quick, but yeah, that's what I like to use out here. It's very simple and also very effective. It not only catches halibut, it will also catch other types of fish, you know, rockfish, lingcod. I even caught thresher sharks. What else? Anything that eats a squid will go for this type of setup. So pretty versatile, depending on what fish you're targeting. You might want to fish it a little bit differently, but the general idea is that heavyweight dodger with that hoochie right behind it, you know, getting some action from that dodger. So anyway, we're still moving around. It's a little bit slower now. It seems like in the morning it was hitting pretty good. We're getting bites fairly consistently. Now it's slowed down a little bit. But I just saw a couple of boats land one, so I think there's still some fish around that are willing to bite. I just gotta get lucky and cross paths with one, so see if we can make that happen. Not only does it catch the fish we want to catch, it also catches the fish we don't want to catch. Definitely a halibut. Hopefully a keeper. Definitely got some weight to it. Oh yeah, that's a keeper for sure. There it is. fish, straight up and down. Usually they come up flat. Got him. That's a good one. That's probably 28 inches, something like that. I think that's number 3. Don't want to stringer here. Number 3. Yeah, that's a fish. Yes, sir. Not sure about this one in terms of size. It feels a little smaller. But who knows? Never know. Sometimes they come up easy and then they turn out to be big. Coming up. Oh, you know what? I think it's a keeper. Yeah, it looks like a keeper. We get another look at him. Yeah, that's a keeper. That's definitely a keeper. He fooled me. I thought he was small at first. Yeah, that's a nice one. Solid 25, 26 inch fish, something like that. Boom! Bite is back on. That wasn't too long since the last one. Probably about 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes. Just throw him on the board really quick just to prove it, but definitely a keeper. Yeah. 20, almost 26 maybe. Somewhere between 25 and 26. Putting together a nice little bag. One thing that's super important when you're out here trolling this stuff, you know, you don't have to worry about your bait being gone because we're using artificials, but you do have to worry about junk getting hung up on your line. So constantly checking, just making sure there's no grass hanging off of that. I probably check every 15 minutes, if not more often. Sometimes you can tell just by the way the pole's bending that something's wrong with the setup. You know, sometimes it's vibrating weird or it just looks like there's more weight. But even in the best case scenario where there's nothing really happening, I still try to check it every 15 minutes or so. I feel like it's a good practice. The worst thing that you can do is just troll around for hours and have one little piece of grass hanging off your poochie, and it's more than likely, if that's the case, the halibut's not going to come and eat it. So you don't want to be wasting your time. In your best interest to check it every, I say 15 minutes is good. It doesn't take more than like 30 seconds to check everything. In my opinion, super worth it. And we could not have asked for better weather today. It was getting a little breezy at one point, but oh my gosh. Oh my god, it's not even a halibut, it's a rockfish. Holy smokes, it's a big brown rockfish. That's one of the bigger browns that I've ever caught. Oh, man. Sorry, I wanted to get a better look at him, but he wanted to go. Yeah, I was saying is couldn't ask for better weather. Bright sunny skies, not too hot out here on the coast. I'm sure inland it's very hot today, but out here it's nice and probably like 60 degrees, 60 to 70 degrees, and yeah, couldn't ask for much better. Like I said at the beginning, I'm gonna try and stick it out as long as I can today, so while the good weather is here, try to take advantage of it. Get my lines back in here and see if there's any more halibut down there waiting for me. I don't think that's a halibut. Oh, maybe that is a halibut. Yeah, I think that is a halibut. At first I thought it was something smaller because it was like, I don't know, shaking a lot, but now there's definitely the weight and also the head shakes. There he is. Another solid 25-inch fish. Maybe a little smaller, maybe 24 on this one. Got him. Got him. Yep, 24. A little over 24. So you can see on the bottom there, it's all that sand and mud from down on the ocean floor. So he was sitting down there waiting, lurking, and that hoochie came over the top and boom, came up and grabbed it. On the stringer. It's number 5, I think? I think it's number 5. Yeah, I got 5.
Shut up! What the hell? Making money today, huh?
A little bit. If you're ever interested in buying fish from me, unfortunately I can only do local pickup, so you have to live in the Bay Area. But if you do and you're interested in buying fish, follow me on Instagram. And if you don't have Instagram, I've also contacted a few people, got in touch with a few people through email. It's a little harder, but we can make it happen if you're interested. Brown rockfish. Alright, I think on that note, we're going to head back. Theoretically, we could fish a little bit longer, but I'm a little downwind from where I started, and I don't want to get stuck downwind with no battery going back. You know, I would make it back, it's fine, I'd have to paddle, which is why I carry this paddle. But it's just not as much fun. Well, it's not any fun really, it's just hard work. And I personally do not sell any fish to the big, what do you call, fish receivers? I don't know what the technical name is, but basically big warehouses that take in all of the commercial catch. The majority of commercial fishermen sell to those big conglomerates like that, and they process the fish, I believe, and then ship them out and sell them to other people. And I don't know how many middlemen there are, but there's at least a couple in the middle there where they eventually get to either grocery stores or restaurants or just other fish markets. But I like to sell to you guys, so that's why I was saying I always like to update Instagram. It's the easiest place to stay up to date. So anyway, we're gonna go do that. I'm gonna clean up everything, and then I'll catch you back on civilization to show you a little bit more about the back end of the commercial fishing business. Fish. On the way in, on the way in. Oh, it's a good one too. Always keep my lines in on the way in. Looks like it's gonna pay off for me here. If I can convert on this one. Coming up, coming up. Oh yeah. That might be the biggest. Oh, that's a really nice one. I think that's the biggest one we've had so far. These are up. Nice and gently. So that I can sink this gaff to it. Yeah, nice. We will take it. Yeah, bingo. Heck yeah. Solid. 31. Really nice fish. Probably 10, 12 pounds or so. All right, it's the next day. Sold off all the fish. Turns out I had about 40 pounds of halibut, which is a pretty good day for me. You know, I washed off all my gear. You know, if you're a regular fisherman, you already know all the salt water. Super important to clean it up. So I got all the kayak gear washed off, my rods, and then recharged my kayak battery. But now we have a little bit of work to do on the computer. So because I sell fish to individual people, not to fish receivers, I have to make sure that I log all of my catch so that the Department of Fish and Game can keep track of how many pounds of halibut or whatever fish you're catching are caught by commercial fishermen each year. So they have this website here, it's called eTix. You have to put in all your information, where you caught it, what type of fishing gear you're using, the species, the poundage, all that stuff, and then submit that so that they can keep track of everything. And then every quarter, the Department of Fish and Game will send you a little breakdown through the mail. It's a little hard copy. It has all the fish species that you've caught, as well as every pound of fish. There's a tiny little fee that's associated with that. It's really not that much. I think, especially for me who doesn't fish commercially every day, it's only a couple of bucks per quarter. So it's really not that much, but there is that associated with this as well. Look at these ankle tan lines from the wetsuit. Line right there, line right there. It's kayak fisherman tan line. And that's gonna wrap it up. Long day out there, got some gnarly tan lines, but we also caught some fish. Big shout out to everyone who came out to buy some fish. It's always nice meeting all of you, and hope you all enjoy the fish, and hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Just a little insight into the commercial fishing industry. I'm definitely not a professional commercial fisherman. I don't do it every day, but I do like to kind of make these videos to show a little bit about what commercial fishermen do. I feel like it's kind of undocumented and always a mystery what's going on out there. So anyway, thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next one.